This episode of Super GG Radio is brought to you by our Patreon. Patrons of the show can get our Dogs of Super GG Radio newsletter, Super GG Radio stickers to slap on your closest PC or bag, input on what we cover, game nights with the hosts, and even a chance to win a copy of an indie we talked about. Not only that, but 90% of all patron contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Visit patreon.com/superggradio to learn more.
What's good, Internet, and welcome to session 285 of Super GG Radio, where friends chat about video games and all things adjacent. I am apparently your musical theater host for the week, Eric Getty Gettinger. With me, as always, is a man who could learn a thing or two about musicals, Alex Arona.
I've seen a lot more musicals than I feel is normal, but at the same time, Wicked is still confusing to me. And that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, I'm trying to understand. Okay, so we're at popular now. I'm gonna skip.
Okay, so for those of you that are tuning in, we've had a 5-minute conversation off air about Wicked, and now Alex is going to probably watch part of it during the course of this episode.
I currently am, because
we
I've some questions
probably shouldn't do it in the middle of the episode, but you know what?
What does Alphaba mean?
It's a name.
Okay, that's all it is. There's no significance here?
No.
Alex, just repeat after me. Omaha. Omaha.
That's not in this movie.
Anybody? Thank you, Alec. Alec also saw it. Also with us is a man who probably hasn't seen Wicked and I imagine doesn't believe in musicals, Joel DeWitte.
I actually have not seen Wicked, no. But this house has lots of musicals in it, especially with Kelly. So I did expose secondhand, like being stuck in a Hardee's that has a no smoking section, even though the smoking still finds its way through.
I have a lot of questions.
That reminds me of going to like any casino. You're like, I think I'm in a safe section, and then just a cloud of smoke appears.
Oh, so I went home and celebrated my 21st birthday with my parents, and there were riverboat gambling here, and so you get on the boat and it actually starts moving around, and yeah, it smelled like old bowling alley. It was bad.
Ooh, old bowling alley.
I had the conversation recently about our favorite places to smoke when we were young.
And
I like a good steak and shake, open 24/7, baby.
Okay.
Go there for some milkshakes.
If you
and
can
cigarettes.
find one anymore.
Cheese fries, and
there's one by me.
Chain smoke. Oh, there's one right by me too. That's real close.
All the ones by me closed.
That's like GameStop.
There aren't any anymore.
There was 2 of them like on either side of me, and they closed. Confirming,
right.
Getty, that they are wearing the same outfits this entire scene, that they're fighting with each other. There's no passage of time. It's literally in an evening.
Everything is a passage of time. Finally, my comrade in arms when it comes to musicals, Alec Parks.
You know, when you're a jet all the way.
I've seen that one.
Oh yeah? What's that one called, Alex?
The movie.
It's called The Movie. Yep, okay.
I've also seen the Little Shop of Horrors. That's a fun one. That's a fun movie.
Great one.
There you go. That's a good one.
Feed Me Seymour.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know that reference.
You know that reference? You know the plant's name?
The something 2.
Yes.
It's the hold on. I could do this. Give me time.
All we
Audrey
have is
2.
time.
I don't know.
Audrey
Ooh,
2.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nailed it. Rick Moranis. That dentist is very offensive. Steve Martin, the dentist. That's no good.
No.
Not anymore. It was passable in the 80s.
Yes. No. Yeah. In the
Lot
80s,
of
a lot
stuff.
of things flew.
Even the 90s, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Honestly, the 2000s.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
But now we're like halfway through the 20s. Oof.
Oh, we are.
Someday our kids are going to look back on this and... Well, your kids are going to look back on this. And they're going to say...
I'm sorry, kids.
They're going to
I'm
say...
so sorry.
Joel, because they won't call you Dad anymore. Because that's just how they are. They'll say...
Robin will tell no one of this. She will be only embarrassed.
Joel, why were you on the internet making a fool out of yourself with people? What is Twitch?
It's a thing my eye does when we get into arguments.
Whenever we do podcast stuff. All right, well, true to Super GG Radio, I didn't write any intros, any outros, really anything this week, so this is all winging it, and I'm not sorry. I don't know. It has been a week, gents. So let me just say that we're going to do some early adopters, probably maybe throw some chess pieces around. I'm sure that there's something in the news that is mostly factual. Well, we'll figure it out.
Getty, also, I've just confirmed that you did spoil Wicked for me. Future Wicked.
What are you talking about?
There's no scene talking about the wizard and her parents.
It's implied.
But where is the scene where they talk about her
It's
as a child
at the
all?
beginning.
Oh, okay.
Did you not watch this? You never.
Oh, wait. Oh, that scene where she's dancing around and doing the thing?
The one with the thing and the stuff? Yes, that's the one that I'm talking about. When I said
but
that...
that's a...
What is that?
We'll talk about that. That's a whole other thing. We'll talk about that. Okay.
Are you going to call it foreshadowing because he's a shadow? Is that how...
no, I thought I swear you see his face. I thought you see his face.
You do not. It's
Okay, hold on.
And it's not spoiling it because it's right there. It's context clues.
We'll talk off air on this. I have some comments.
I didn't write it. I did not direct it. I am no way affiliated with Wicked or anybody that has anything to do with Wicked. As a matter of fact, I'm affiliated with Super GG Radio. And
the Wicked
we're barely humans
here. They're very litigious.
Barely human Super GG Radio.
I'm actually kind of bummed out now that Getty kind of ruined Wicked for me.
Early adopters.
You ruined Wicked for you.
I did not. That was something I didn't know at all.
Just because you didn't pay attention to it doesn't make it any less true. Early adopters, where we play alphas, betas, and checkmate, Alex.
I'm not good at chess.
I don't know that it's not chess, in my opinion. We played Passant, which
it is chess,
but
in the way of imagine if they gave you certain chess scenarios. They will give you a certain number of pieces and very specific pieces, and then they will give you the enemy will have certain pieces.
It's chess
That's closer to it.
I don't think that's the case. I think that they're puzzles. They're little mini puzzles because they're not on the same playing field. It's actually a very specific...
I'm talking about the structure, though. They got like the small ante, the large ante, the boss.
I didn't even get that far, guys. I didn't get that far.
In the middle of each round, you get the whole shop where you can spend money to buy badges and consumables and things.
I didn't get that far. I could not beat match one.
Me either.
This is not my chess. I will tell you that. So I'm sure that all of you gentlemen are familiar with chess and what the Passant is, which is an offensive move that you can play in chess. And I believe, the very little that I know about it, it was called in passing. It's French for in passing, something along those lines.
So I'm learning something that I actually wanted to learn today instead of learning things that I didn't want to learn today.
So in Passant, you are given pieces, and they are not all of the chess pieces. You're given a king in the first match, a ton of pawns, and then this crazy piece that moves like a king, but anything that's adjacent to it can't act. And
so it can't move or take. You're basically locking it in place.
Well, it can move, but its
I didn't know
movements
the-
are restricted to one space at a time.
No. I said the enemy. Like if you're near a bunch of enemies,
And-
it freezes them in place.
And your
That's
pieces.
such a cool character. That's a cool piece.
It's a
I
cool
like that
piece,
one.
right?
Yeah.
But I did not know how to capitalize on that, so I was not great at using it.
It's very situational, and at the same time, regular-ish. Chess rules apply, but some of the pieces, as you progress, aren't conventional chess pieces.
Right.
One of the things that I noticed right away, when you get to the shop and you have a couple of dollars to spend, you could buy some extra pawns. You can upgrade your pawns to, like, men-at-arms, which give them a little bit more movement. They're able to differentiate a bit. You can get a camel, which is like your knight, your horse, whatever you like to call it, but it moves in an even weirder pattern.
Oh,
And
really?
that was frustrating to me because I was like, oh, look, this looks like a knight. And then I got it on the field and I was like, this is not. This is a camel. I don't like you, Mr. Camel.
How does
and
the
it-
camel move?
But I also
Like,
like the fact that they are
Three
just
up and then
like,
3 to the left or 3 to the right. So
Ooh.
not even like the regular knight would go up to over 1,
Left,
right?
yep.
Or just 2 and then 1, right? Any combination of it. But the camel was all wiggity whack.
3 and 3.
It might have been slightly different, but it felt like he was moving like to the other side of the board, and I had trouble doing anything with him.
But
Alright.
what I liked is that when you're going into these scenarios, you're not just playing a game of chess. You're given a kind of almost like a hyper specific scenario where you're given a certain number of pieces. They're given a certain number of pieces, and to me, that acts as like if you are somebody that is very like I play a lot of chess a lot of time. Then what they would do is like, what if it was a bite-sized puzzle chess where they give you certain pieces in certain positions, give you the enemy a bunch of pieces in certain positions, and then say, go for it. See if you can figure out how to complete this game.
But that's a thing. Like,
Is it a thing?
you can buy a book of chess puzzles,
Yes,
and it
okay.
gives you a setup, and it says, arrange the pieces like this, and then checkmate in 4 moves or something like that. Or trying to
Okay,
figure out
and
how
that-
to
and
achieve
that's what
checkmate.
this does. That's what this does, and it's pretty cool.
I would argue that that's not exactly what this does.
I guess I've only played 2 rounds.
Right.
I've only played chess once.
I played chess before. This game, I played this game 2 rounds.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that this is my chess. Joel, it seems like you also were able to progress it a bit.
It was. You're right. This is a different game wearing the skin of chess on it. It's the Joker from Balatro wearing a knight suit or something like that. It's something like that. I liked it. It's not you're not here for chess. You're here to play this game using chess pieces and modifiers and boosters, and that's another way in which I think it's comparable to something like Balatro, because you're not playing poker there. You're playing a game using poker rules, right? And in that sense, it's funny. So the boss and the boss have different modifiers, right? Kind of like Balatro. And I got to a point where I was down to just my king. And I went round after round of getting in check, but then stepping aside and getting back in check. The boss lost because they took too long to get me in the checkmate.
Yeah, you could have a stalemate, or I think there is a default condition in the game.
Yeah. But I thought to myself, like, I mean, I don't want you to be impossible to beat, but if I'm just down to my king, you can finish me off. It's okay. But no, I liked it. I wish listed it, but you have to know what you're getting into for sure.
Anybody else want to add some extra?
I think that this is not necessarily my chess because I'm just not really great at at a very hard baseline chess. There have been a couple of chess games that I've played that I really liked, but they are more of the wackier chess. Shotgun Knight, where you're playing chess but your characters shoot. I played one called Battle Action. I think it was Battle Action Chess, where you can move your pieces as much as you want, anytime you want, all the time, but they have a cooldown. So you're making moves as fast as possible while also respecting your cooldown, and they're doing the same. So they're just moving really rapid fire fast, and you're moving really fast, but then you have to wait for pieces to be available. There's a couple of games that I played that are like that. But I think that this sticks really hard to normal chess, and I was like, this is hard for me. So I think it was too much chess for me, and I got really kind of confused by it. So
I know what your speed of chess is.
Yep.
World
Battle
of Warcraft. Karazhan.
Was it? Oh, Karazhan. Yes, I like that chess.
No rhyme or reason. Just move the piece and click the button, right?
Willy-nilly.
Mm-hmm. All right, but that's not all that we played this week. We also got all zip-zappity zoopy in our flying car. We played Punk Runner, and this was a demo that for sure everybody played.
This was more of a tech demo to show off like the capabilities of what they've done in this kind of engine. The reason why I kind of thought there would be more to it, but it really is just a proof of concept of if you've ever seen The Fifth Element, one of the best movies ever created, with Bruce Willis as a flying taxi driver, it's very much that, but it's a very smooth, very pretty looking engine for it. I actually played a game very similar to this called Cloudpunk, and it's a full story, but all of the animation is like voxels, the Minecraft blocky visuals instead. So seeing this fully realized in like a really shiny 3D environment, I think that I would love to play Cloudpunk that way. That was my thought coming on into this, was like, oh man, I'd play some story based noir taxi driver in the cyberpunk future like this. Like this seems pretty cool if they continue to progress this.
For sure everybody played this.
Yeah. I played about 15 minutes of it. I enjoyed flying around, jumping off of other cars. It was pretty neat. But I was looking for, it's a proof of concept. I was hoping that there would be something like, maybe slaloming or something to keep track of time in a course or something like that. And
there was actually races, I think. That's what they said, that if you go to the menu, there's maps, and I think there's races there too.
Oh, I missed that.
I didn't find any races. I tried both of the maps though.
Okay. When I looked at the itch.io page, it's like, try out some races. And I was happy with what I saw, so I was just like messing around and be like, this is what I want from like that, like playing games like Cloudpunk. Joel, what did you think?
I think I've got some computer problems to work out, because for a while now, when I try to download things from itch.io and then I try to extract the zip file, it extracts fine, but then it never wants to launch what's actually installed on there. So I could not get the opportunity to do so here this week. It looks zippy and smooth, so I hope I'll be able to get it working and give it a try, but not today.
I don't know if I got to be like a really fast zippiness. It actually was kind of a little bit more plotty.
Okay.
Getty, what did you think?
I was flying into things very fast. I didn't love the use of the keyboard, but I can get past it. I just had a lot of issues when it came to purpose. I guess that's just regular life too. Much like Alec, I was like, maybe I'll find something to do. So I flew around the city trying to go as fast as possible. And I was like, it's like, okay, I'll move over to the highway. And that had more areas where I could like fly and weave back and forth between other cars, but still, I mean, that's on me. I couldn't find the races, so I failed this city.
I mean, overall, I think that if this were to be fleshed out with some story and some I think some gritty story, like some gritty, just like some voice acting and some real dirty stories, I think we could get this pretty good.
Dirty stories.
Dirty stories.
Yeah, that's how I like them. I like some good murder mysteries. Murder, She Wrote. It's a dirty story. Angela Lansbury.
I don't know. My mind doesn't exactly go there.
She could get it.
She could get the killer because she's going to solve the mystery.
She could get it.
She can get the paycheck because she's going to solve the mystery.
She can get it on break. We'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah? Okay, I guess we're going to take a break to talk about Wicked and all the things that Alex wants to do to Angela Lansbury. Be right back. Hey everybody, this is the news with Super GG Radio. We got stuff to talk about. What kind of stuff, you ask? Well, we got some 1.0s, we got some announcements.
We got beef here, Getty. We got 2v2 on It's Not Obvious.
We got job layoffs.
Yes.
We've always got job layoffs.
We always got job layoffs, Getty.
All right, we're going to jump into this, right?
Yep.
Big news for Joel this week is Capcom Fighting Collection 2 has been announced. What's that include, you say? Well, it's going to include Capcom vs. SNK, Capcom vs. SNK 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper, Power Stone, Power Stone 2, Project Justice, also named Rival Schools 2, and Plasma Sword.
Is it okay to pronounce it Capcom versus Sync?
No.
Do whatever you want. It's not apparent or obvious by looking at those letters that they make that noise.
I'm gonna call it Capcom versus Sync.
Good.
That feels right.
Sync?
Snake? Snick?
Snickerdoodle.
There you go. Yeah, count me in. It's got Street Fighter Alpha 3, which is an obvious yes to me, but it's got a lot of games that I haven't had exposure to and never had exposure to, had a means to do it easily. So in that way, I'm pretty pumped for something like Capcom vs. Sync. Power Stone, definitely. And I don't think I've played Rival Schools before. Yeah. I'm excited.
Rival Schools rules 1 and 2. 1 is in the Capcom Fighting Collection, and then 2 is now here.
Okay.
So you had access to at least that one, right?
That slipped the back of my mind that
All
came
right.
But yeah, looking forward to this one. Is Alex's screen frozen for anybody else?
Yes, it is.
Nah, just don't look at him. It's fine.
All right.
That's strange.
Okay.
Nope, that's normal. This is all normal.
Turn it back on.
But yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah, you should get on those Power Stones.
Oh, fantastic. My internet went
They should keep doing this. It's a very good thing.
They should, shouldn't they? And they should give them away for free. You shouldn't have to pay for that. It's part of your childhood. You deserve those games.
Yeah, they owe me.
Yeah, they do. Making those games inaccessible.
Oh, man.
What would you like to see in Capcom Fighting Collection 3?
Oh, boy. Street Fighter 4.
Okay. It's such a jump, though, if you think about it. Like, we really, didn't have Street Fighter for quite a while. You could say that for about quite a few of the fighting games. There were some that were just, more consistently pumping them out, but yeah. Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, it was on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and that's it. It's just sort of been stuck there. So, yeah, I'd love a chance to revisit that. At least not on a 3DS, on an actual console.
Good God. You were talking about playing it on a 3DS before, weren't you? Or one of the...
Yes.
Oh.
Last week. Yeah.
And it had the helper buttons so that you could do it. Yeah, but man.
That's right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, the sacrifices you made to be a Nintendo gamer.
I guess. Okay. I mean, that's one piece of news. Next piece of news.
One Piece isn't in the news.
That you know of. All right, I guess Alex is doing this next piece of news then.
Oh, which part did we leave off? My Discord was.
Oh,
really bad.
You weren't here. It's okay.
Yeah, my Discord completely shut me down. My internet was fine.
That's fine. It wasn't immediately apparent that you were gone from the podcast. So, unfortunately, this week we have lost Wayne June, who was the narrator of Darkest Dungeon 1 and 2. And we just talked about Darkest Dungeon last week. And this is a really kind of devastating, because he made it feel much better than I feel playing that game. The way that he narrated it.
I mean, I think that for me, that's what drove the game. I think that if he wasn't there, I would generally be like much less enthused on that game.
He will be missed, that's for sure.
Yeah, he will.
Bad news for Alex this week. Good news for Alex. Bad news for video games. Good news for Alex. Let's call it that. Mm-hmm. Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta gets a leaked release date of August 28th, 2025. Hey, y'all like some Snake Eater?
I love some Snake Eater.
Well, that's what you're getting.
What a thrill. Alec, did you not play Snake Eater?
I played the original release of it before they added in the map and all those quality of life improvements that came with the Game of the Year edition. And I was just like, nope, I've had enough.
Oh, I didn't realize that stuff wasn't there before. I played it on PlayStation Vita.
Okay.
Yeah, like years later.
I think they did the same thing with second one. It was like called Subsistence or something like that as a subheader, and it had a bunch of special features and being able to play as Raiden or Snake doing Tony Hawk Pro Skater skateboarding on top of the shell. Yeah, it was wild stuff. It was an experimental time in video games.
I mean, I like in the fact that the trailer ends with was it Ape Escape?
Ape Escape.
Yeah, which is a classic like weird DLC.
Oh yeah. All right. So that's exciting. Some people will finally get to play it.
Yep.
Will it be anybody on this podcast? We'll figure it out. In a weird turn of events, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, we're talking about the movie, has become the second highest grossing video game movie of all time.
What's one?
I imagine it's Detective Pikachu.
No, it's probably... my vote is the Mario movie. Let me see.
Oh, okay. That could be two.
That's fair.
I think it's the Mario movie.
That makes me sad.
It's the Super Mario Brothers movie, and then Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Detective Pikachu is 3. Warcraft is 4, which is surprising. Rampage is 5. Uncharted is number 6. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is number 7. Guess what 8 is? Some of you may not even remember that this was a movie.
Wait.
Max Payne.
Nope.
How long ago was it released?
2016.
2016.
You probably, again, don't even realize or remember it was a movie. Alec is Googling as we speak.
I had the page up before you started asking trivia.
Oh, I was going to say, I feel like...
Assassin's Creed.
Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Angry Birds.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking, it was not going to be one of the movies that we had seen. It has to be a kid's movie. It's...
And then Prince of Persia is number 9, and rounding it out, Sonic the Hedgehog won. So as you can see, out of the top 10, all 3 Sonic the Hedgehog movies are represented.
And most of those are kids' movies.
Yep.
Which goes to show you, what are video gamers except for just really big children?
True.
Oh, and
Yes.
Number 50, Pokemon the movie I Choose You. I saw that in theaters.
That was a work of art.
Yeah. Especially considering you got a free limited edition Pokemon card for that.
And 49 is the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Ooh.
Good. It belongs on this list.
It does.
That's a blast from the
This
past.
comprehensive list of all the video games.
Okay. What else do we have here? The layoffs. Tons of layoffs. Where do you want layoffs?
The layoffs are everywhere. I just put this on there because it gave some insight into for you, Getty, what you should be looking for one of them.
I should be looking for a
The new
house
Mass
full of
Effect.
cats.
The new Mass Effect.
Well, I'm sure that game will never come out now that the studio has taken severe hits for being too woke.
It's actually at first the too woke is a scapegoat, but at the same time that game was supposed to be a live service game, and someone was hired to come in and rework what they already have to not be live service. That could also be part of it.
I don't know how you make that into a live service game.
It originally was.
Like,
So,
there's
I'm not-
nothing about that series that says, hey, we could make this into a live service game.
Could be somewhat of an MMO, mission based, perhaps, a la Avengers.
I don't think it works like... I'm trying to, like...
But they would have the game would have to be was different, and then they made it what they had into this.
It would...
But
Yeah, it would have to be a completely different game.
I mean, it
'Cause-
probably was.
Honestly, the last Dragon Age game mirrors very closely what the gameplay was from the previous game. So I guess if they were just like, oh, we'll just reuse all the assets from the previous one, sure, that makes sense.
I mean, but the previous one had an open world. You would go and do missions and then come back to the hub. You could easily just make that so everyone is on the internet together doing similar missions.
It had an open world, yes, in a way. I don't know if I compare that open world to something like a Skyrim, because you still had to
I was
transition
going-
from map to map.
I was
into
going like a
area to
Destiny.
area.
I was going like a Destiny.
Even then, there was still a lot more transitioning between stages. It's fine.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
But the reason I put this also on there is that they were originally working on 2 games, a new IP and Mass Effect, and now it is just straight Mass Effect. Mass Effect is the goal, it's the focus, end of story.
I'm sure that'll be the last game they ever make. And the internet will explode.
Kaboom.
Well, it's more like what can they do with 100 people? They've never had to do this before.
I don't know what 100 people can do.
We're gonna find out. I hope.
Barely survive with 10 people on my team, and I don't know what I do.
Yep. So that's just something to note with the industry right now, and it's kind of having a pretty hard hit in gaming, and then that's not even including the tariffs on physical copies of games.
I don't know what a tariff is.
Terrifying. Nailed it.
I don't come here to talk about work.
Then what do you come here to talk about, Getty?
1.0s, because we got a slew of those this week.
Hell yeah.
Hey, y'all, you like Wreckfest 2? Oh, that's going to go early access. Ignore me.
Hell yeah.
In March.
Wreckfest 2,
In March.
March 20th. Check it out. Are you on the internet checking it out?
Yes.
Good. Because if you
What
aren't,
else we got?
Alex will find out. He'll come to your
I
house.
will find out.
And he'll Google it on your computer. And you don't even want to know what he's going to Google on your computer.
I Google so much bad stuff on my computer. Imagine what I could do to yours.
We got While Waiting goes 1.0. Hey, you like to play mini games about waiting?
While waiting.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
It's a good one.
Remember how one of them was like, "Don't poop your pants"?
Yeah.
I remember that.
This is on my wish list, so I might pick this up.
And it even had like the little picture of the turd in the corner, like, "Oh, it's coming, it's
I
coming."
I
Yeah.
didn't like that part. Yeah.
Some things just stay with you. We also got Keep Driving. It goes 1.0.
Roguelike RPG about driving cross country. Pretty sweet. We also played this on the show during Steam
Oh,
Next
yeah.
Fest.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Steam
We
Next Fest,
played
baby.
games. Because that's what we do here. Sometimes. Freebies?
Freebies.
Freebies!
Freebies!
Sure, we got some freebies here. First one, Beyond Blue on the Epic Games Store.
Wake up and embrace your new powers in this bullet hell fast FPS. Dare to take on mystical creatures to defeat the god Raj. Nirvana awaits. This is first-person magical power shooter, but bullet hell. Getty, what was that game you like so much? Returnal? Imagine Returnal, but first person.
I thought everybody liked Returnal.
Yep.
Joel actually
That was
finished
good.
it.
You did. Next.
You know, it's not on just PS5 anymore, right?
Nope, it's on PC.
I did it on PC.
Yes, sir.
You could finish it.
I'll pick that back. I'll pick that back on PC then.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it. Are you doing it?
Yeah. Yeah, right now.
Put it
Okay.
on your wish list. Put it on your wish list right now.
Right
Did you do it?
Right now.
I'm doing it. Move on. I'll tell you when I'm done.
No. Talk to me very slowly about you doing it.
Tell me the process.
You ruined it.
Oh.
Oh, bummer.
Humankind on the Epic Games Store.
Okay, got it. Wait for this to load. Is a historical strategy game where you'll be rewriting the entire narrative of human history. Let's write out this entire year and last year, and combining cultures to create a civilization that is as unique as you are. Very heavily focused and similar to like a civilization, but civilization by way of what looks to be like a Sim City. So this looks like very fun.
Is it very fun?
If you like these games,
All right.
I don't know. Whatever you like.
Next,
Do me.
we got Nirvana on Steam.
Oh, that was the one I said that was FPS. What were you talking about before?
Humankind?
No, before. Oh, did you say Beyond Blue instead of Nirvana? I got that confused.
I
Nirvana
said
was
Correct.
Beyond
Nirvana was
Blue
the
first.
Oh, Beyond Blue is a single-player narrative adventure that takes you deep into the planet's beating blue heart, explore the awesome wonder and unbound mystery that exists within the ocean, the world's oceans. That is third-person exploring the ocean floor. Nirvana is the FPS that's like Returnal.
Okay.
Cool. I don't know how that happened. I swear I heard Nirvana.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I know exactly how that happened.
Sure.
I'll re-listen. I'll re-listen to the episode.
Sure.
It might be the red. It might be the red drink.
None of it was abundantly clear. Next up, Niflheim on Steam.
Oh, delete that one. Next one.
Why did we delete that one?
It was a playtest.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Last freebie, dodgy deliveries on Steam.
You ever want to do deliveries
No.
on a bike? Just want to be bicycling around town, trying to avoid traffic and delivering packages for your friends.
Bicycling.
Cycling
Is
around.
it like Paperboy?
Yes, but first-person cycling in a polygonal world. But the funnier part is that it's also horror, because at certain points you have to then deliver at nighttime when the creatures come out and try to murder you.
When the creatures come out.
It's pretty...
There always has to be an extra hook somewhere.
It seems pretty fun.
Can't just be delivering stuff.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is fun. I could play this. I'm into this. And then I saw like some of the horror stuff of the creepy nighttime monsters that come out, and I was like, I don't know if I want to play this anymore.
I don't know that anybody wants to, but now
I'm gonna install it. I'm gonna install it, and I may like dip into it. But if it starts getting, from what I'm seeing, it looks real scary. So we'll see.
All right.
Installing now.
Let's go ahead and take a quick break so that we can pretend to finish strong.
I got more beef, Getty.
And we're back with the Backlog Blog, where Alex plays a game that makes him want to break a disc in half, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Alex, tell us about the Bluey Game, which you played for science.
First, did you play this on a disc?
Yes. Well, no. Disc?
Okay.
Disc, no. In a cartridge, yes.
Did you lick the cartridge?
No, I'm not gonna lick the cartridge.
Lick the cartridge, Alex.
Lick the cartridge.
Lick the cartridge.
I can. Hold on.
This is great,
I'm
actually.
gonna get it. 1 second.
He's gonna get it.
I'm gonna get it.
Let it be known that at any moment there's a switched cartridge within arm's reach.
Yep. Generally, hold on. I got my whole collection here. Here we go. You know what? I don't have it in here because I want to get rid of it so bad. The Bluey Game is the worst. It's not in here. These are the games I want to keep. I put the Bluey Game in its case, and I said I kind of want to throw it away.
Was it bought new or pre-owned?
New.
Oh, ouch.
No, on sale. I ain't gonna pay that. It was like $40 or $50. I'm not doing that. The game is an hour and a half, and it's the worst. It is this is the beef I have. This game is bad. So right off the bat, it's just okay. So it's animated poorly to the extent that it will do things like move the character's hand, and I'm doing it on camera for the video, but the audio you'll just have to understand. They'll move the character's hand up, but then put the item just copy and paste above their hand.
Ooh.
And it's like, oh look, I have this cup. It's like, no, you don't. You literally just moved the item over the person's hand. I have lost collision up to 4 times where halfway through it's like, go upstairs in the house, and I can't. My little one is trying to go up the stairs, and Daddy just has to sit and go through the world. I am in what is probably the basement, disconnected from everything going on because I can't collide with the world. I can't walk up the stairs. I'm floating through it. And it provides these little mini challenges of oh, hey, let's jump across these rocks. But it instantly teleports you if you're within if you're anywhere in it gives a very specific zone on the rock. So if you land on the rock but you're not in that zone, it just ports you automatically back to the beginning. So it's got really bad boundary detection. And then just in general, it's an hour and a half of little tiny Bluey episodes are 15 minutes, so that's a pretty good amount of Bluey. But at the end, you are trying to find pieces of a map to your dad's childhood treasure, and at the end of the game, you find the map. And he's like, sweet, I found you. We finished the map. Let's go find the treasure. And then you dig up the treasure, and you're like, that sure was fun. And then it brings you to the beach, and it's like, have fun at the beach. And I'm like, wait, we found the treasure.
You want to know what it is?
No, you got what it was.
Oh, okay.
But it was just more the fact that it was just we found the treasure, and everyone's like, that was cool. And then it's like, have fun at the beach. And we go, and it ports you to the beach, and that's the new level is the beach. But for what? It's like, you can do all this stuff at the beach. And I'm like, cool. Wait, did we finish the game or not? And I Googled it, and everyone goes, oh, yeah, that's the end of the game. when you get to the beach, it's like, well, here's another level for you to like putz around at, but there's nothing to do here. It just means like there's nothing else for the game to give you. So they just gave you like this other generic tile set of a beach. I was like, what? There's no credits? There's nothing here? And I Googled it. Everyone's like, yep, once you finish that, that's the game. Like, that's not. And my daughter she's now on the, like, she's smart as a whip now. So she's picking up on kind of like people's BS and just like the world's BS. And she looked at that and she goes, is that it? Are we done? I'm like, I kind of think so. And she goes, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, that's weird, right? That's weird. She's like, yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm like, okay. It was really strange. Like, I'm like, do we keep playing? But there's nothing to do except, like, they give you, like, they unlock 4 different mini games of, like, a Simon Says and a, like, a Keepy Uppy where you're just hitting a balloon to keep it in the air. But at the same time, it's just, like, it's like, play Keepy Uppy at the beach. And I'm like, okay, are we doing that for a purpose? No, we're just, okay, the game's just done now. Cool. The game just gave me everything it had and then just went, cool.
Have fun.
Yeah, there wasn't a climax to it at all, so it was very confusing for everyone involved. And then just having the problems of the collision and unable to figure out what we're doing as far as like the game is concerned with these boundaries and issues, and sometimes just stuff happening for what seems like no reason. They're like, oh, by the way, we're just gonna play this hat game. Play this game with silly hats, and you're like, great, I guess. So it was from what I understand, Bluey has gone the way of cash grab, and I was kind of hoping because of how wholesome that show is that they would keep away from that.
You know what's weird?
What's that?
I swear that best friend of the podcast, Chris Dezak, had said that this game was trash.
Yes. And
you played it anyway.
Yes, at that point that was already in the cards for
okay.
This was going to be the Christmas present for the kid.
Got it. He
but
probably could have given you some insight into it and been like, yeah, look out for this, this, and this.
The problem is with that is that I can't, like, I could have reached out to him, but at the same time I was like, what? How bad could it be? It's just for the little one. And even she was like, I don't know about this. And we moved on, and she was real. She's someone that likes to stick to stuff. But she instantly was like, can we do something else now? And I was like, yes. Dear God, yes, let's do anything else. So I think that, like, I'm also told the Bluey little kid books are also bull, so a bunch of BS on that, so whatever. I just I was very shocked at the level because, again, at least I'm like, well, it should at least be a full-fledged game even if it's not great. And it's like, oh no, this barely functioned as a game.
Yeah, you have something like the Snuff Tin, which has a storybook style. They're both kind of simple, uncomplicated stories. That wasn't high budget, but it had a lot of great animation and story structure, and it still wasn't high stakes world ending thing. So it was a small story, but it was still interesting.
Yeah.
So it can be done, and it seems strange that didn't happen there. At a series that has made millions of dollars, I assume, because of how popular it is. So it's very confusing to me, and again, I would be fine with a subpar game, but it wasn't even working. It didn't even work. I am shocked that we beat it through sheer brute force of just hitting the stick to the right and saying, I don't care how often it's going to totally delete me and teleport me backwards. I'm going to keep pressing the stick to the right. Eventually, it just teleports me forward and said, you did it. Because I was so over this experience. It just broke. It's broke from top to bottom, and I'm just shocked at it. That's Bluey the video game, guys.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You feel better?
A little bit,
He
yeah,
doesn't.
because we still got Princess Peach. I'm told that we still got 3 more floors of that. so I'm kind of into that right now.
Floors.
Yeah, you have to. There's 4 levels per floor, and it's like 5 or 6 floors. That game is real deep. That's a lot of game.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know that he actually feels better, but we're here. We're here for you, Alex. You can tell us your woes and your heyos whenever you want.
Or some AOs.
EOS?
EOS.
EOS. Like a star named EOS?
Star Named EOS.
I thought that was a camera brand.
That
Maybe
might.
it's a camera brand too.
It might also be what this game is talking about. I'm not sure.
Nobody's sure, but it sure is a game. Some of us played a star named EOS, and we beta tested. We played a demo for that game way back in the day, and I'm very happy to say that not too much was different from that demo to this game, at least the first part of it. But there are many, many more levels. So, y'all, and I'm talking about Joel and Alec, do you remember A Star Named EOS?
Vaguely. It was a picture puzzle game.
It's almost like a little mini bite-sized escape room.
Okay.
I'd have to look it back up, actually.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Go
on.
The funnier part is this was on my wish list, not because of that. I actually forgot we did that. Now that you're bringing that up, Getty, I do have memories of playing it. What happened was I was writing for a website, and somehow the Star of EOS people wanted to send a press kit. And I kind of wanted that because the game did look I Googled it and I was like, this game looks pretty cool. I'll get the press kit. And it comes with like little Polaroid photos and what is it called? The postcards and little letters from Mom. And so I have some physical letters from Mom, and postcards and Polaroids here from the developers. And I was like, this is kind of cool. I like this little envelope of little stuff from this game. But yeah, it ends up being like little mini escape rooms. Each level has just like a bunch of puzzles, but it tells a story of a son rereading letters from his working mother, who was a photographer for the war, and she was writing letters to her son when he was a little one, and now he's kind of retracing her steps. Is that correct, Getty?
Yeah, that could be more or less correct.
Yeah, and I think that what did you think of all the puzzles we had to do?
There weren't. I think there was one that was overly obtuse, and it took me a while to figure it out. And it was like the second time that you go back to your room. So when we played the original demo, it takes place in your childhood room. And you're going through and you have different things like a picture book. You have toys that you can slot into a dollhouse. And all of these things. And then eventually it culminates and you move on to a couple of more levels. Eventually you do come back to your childhood room and everything is in disrepair. And there were a couple of interactables that I didn't find right away. And I had to go back and click on pretty much everything. I remember what it was. The one that upset me the most was the clock radio. I guess it was just a radio, but it was an old school radio where you had to take the compass piece and you had to slot it into the radio in order to tune it to a station. And I am not great at Morse code, so I had to really sit there and listen to it quite a few times in order to figure it out. But the act of getting that one piece into the radio in the first place, it never clicked, and I really was not happy about having to spend so much time on it. Otherwise, for me it was figuring out the star, you had to put the right dates in and you had to find the dates around the room. That was a little bit more confusing to me. Yeah, but you utilize a camera in this, and there's a point where the character is trying to retrace the footsteps of his mother, and you will take a picture in order to move on to the next area. And then later on, maybe it's even earlier on, but they really give you the option like, hey, you should use the camera to help solve some of these puzzles. And I really like that, and I wish that there had been more of it tied into it. It's not an overly long game by any means, and the storytelling elements of it really feel good. I just feel like it could have had more of the camera use early on. Maybe that's just me.
think that the camera should have been the primary function of it, yes.
Yeah.
I think that should have been the primary puzzle deduction tool, and it wasn't. What did you think of the story about that?
I mean, it takes a couple of stages. I don't think it's until, once again, you get back home when you start to realize that your mother was in a lot more bad situations, and it starts pretty lighthearted. It's like, hey, go to a train, go to a cafe in Paris, go to the woods, and then you hit one of the later beats, and it's like you're reading through your mom's journal, and it says, I missed my son's birthday because I was away doing journalism for the war. And that's where it kind of like really clicked. Because she didn't want to, and you have all of these good memories with her, and then things start to, as they do, deteriorate, they go downhill, and then you realize like, hey, I don't know that it was even her choice, or it was her choice to be there, but what happened to her, it wasn't fair. And you meet another person during the course of the exploration, and I like that they added a second character. I really liked the dialogue that you got to have with that character, and I like the story overall.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that it is a nice come home to rediscover your roots situation. I don't know what was going on with him, like how he ended up in his old room again after it was like destroyed. That was a little confusing to me. But I definitely like the idea that I like the idea of trying to follow parental footsteps, trying to see what they saw when they were writing to you as a child. So,
yeah, a lot of good in this game. Again, I wish it were a bit longer, and I don't feel like any of the puzzles were impossible. And I enjoyed some of the smaller things that you really get to see as you move from map to map. Building that picture in order to move through to the next area really gave a sense of completion. All right. So
I agree. I think that the puzzles were very satisfying, and I think that at the end of the day, I love a good escape room. And I thought that the mini bite-sized nature of it felt good.
One of these days, we're just going to lock Alex in a closet with a brick of cheese and a lockpick set.
I've got the lockpicks.
That sounds like heaven.
I got the cheese. Joel, you got a closet?
I've got a cedar closet, actually. Yeah.
Perfect.
Ooh, we can make this happen.
There you
in
go.
Real time.
We got all the things that we need. Well, we will move on to a surprise segment. I'm told that... Hold on. It's coming in through my headphones. This bonus segment is brought to you by Joel. He's got cousin games.
So this is actually a link I received from Alex at some point here. It's a Polygon, right?
Yeah.
It's a Polygon Instagram where it's a whole conceit of the idea of cousin games, which for his example was, oh, these are the games that you would go over to your cousin's house and that he would have that you wouldn't think of, like Army Men or Uniracers or that sort of off-brand fighter that, you know, your friend might have had. And I thought it might be fun to talk about what kind of cousin games have you experienced. Or are you the person that had the cousin? Are you the cousin Are you the person that had the cousin games?
I'm the cousin game person.
Yeah.
Because we had our dad was a big, like, he loved bootlegging.
Mm-hmm.
When VHS was still the thing, he had the double VCR setup.
All right.
So like PlayStation came out and it was like, all right, we got to chip these and we got to start copying some games and blah blah blah. So we kind of just had access to everything at all times. So Alec has been. I'm the cousin to Alec.
Yeah.
I will tell you, like, some of these, like, Japanese only, like, irritating stick.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
It's the game where you're a stick and you're holding it between two lines and you're just trying to go through these crazy obstacles. The one I wrote down was Loaded and Reloaded, which are like top down. If you remember, like the original GTAs, but not in an open world in these levels, and there's like a bunch of different comic book like style characters that are just shooting and murdering people. I can't remember what the purpose was, but they even made a sequel called Reloaded, and I played them both extensively.
There was one called Road Trip.
Yep,
that was around the PlayStation one time.
Definitely played Road Trip.
Sort of a knockoff of Twisted Metal, but just a little more crass and crude humor kind of stuff instead of the kind of dark, murdery aspects of Twisted Metal. Diablo.
What?
Not the PC Diablo, but my neighbor had the PlayStation 1 version of Diablo.
Oh, I didn't realize that was a thing.
That didn't feel great playing that.
No, it did not.
But I think the Simpsons games, like the old NES Simpsons games,
played all those.
That was something that I would see at a relative's house or something.
The one I like to tell people about is Thousand Arms.
Ooh,
Thousand.
That was a good
it
one.
was
All right.
It was a JRPG. Like, I was a big, like, I'll eat up any JRPG you got. Like, you give me the Lunars and you give me the Chrono Triggers and you give me all the the Star Oceans and whatever. But Thousand Arms was a turn-based JRPG combat thing that also was one of the early ones that had like a dating sim. Where you can have like a little wife, like you have you real pretty waifus, and that you would like go on dates with, and like you have to pick the right conversation choice, and then they get a new like spell or something. And I was like, this is pretty fun. Yep.
One of your cousins or friends always had something like an Olympics game.
Oh, I never.
It'd be like the 96 Nagano Olympics or something like that for the Nintendo 64.
Matt Hoffman Pro BMX.
Yeah.
But then they also.
I was gonna say some of the Excitebike games too were kind of that.
Then they had Dave Mira Pro BMX.
Dave Mira. That was good.
But it was
messy,
it was the if you ever played Thrasher skateboarding,
No.
it was like it was a predecessor to like Skate and Skate 1 and Skate 2, where it was super hyper realistic and really difficult for the PlayStation 1.
Okay.
And Dave Mira was that to Matt Hoffman being the Tony Hawk. So Dave Mira was like the really hyper realistic one that was really difficult and physics based and the right feet for the right sticks and whatever. But then Matt Hoffman was the Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Mm-hmm.
There was also Kelly Slater surfing, which was Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I remember that too. I didn't get a chance to play that one, but they tried to spin that off in lots of different ways. Let's see.
See, to me, when I think about these cousin games, they're games that you would play together, that you would never play by yourself as well. Like, there was one game that Alex had for the PlayStation. It was like Trap Runner or something like that, where you played as...
Ooh.
Yeah, you played as like
forgot about
spies, and you were placing traps and trying to get the other person to run into them and blow themselves up or things like that.
Wow, Alec, you just unlocked a core memory of a game that I had absolutely I forgot existed. Wow, Trap Runner. Yeah. Yeah, it was a two-player, and you were like one player's at the top, one player's at the bottom. And you're placing traps and running around shooting at each other while also trying to get them to fall into their bombs or their pitfalls. And yeah, this is a good one. And little anime, like hot anime characters on the cover. Yeah, Alec, thank you for giving me Trap Gunner.
Yeah, that's it. Trap Gunner.
Man, forgot this existed. But I'm looking at it now. I'm like, yeah, I remember this. It's real vivid. We put like 15 hours into this.
Oh, easily.
Just sitting there messing with each other with different traps. Yeah. This is a good one. See, also, yeah, Bust a Groove.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
1 and 2. 1 and 2. Those are some good games.
Hey, this isn't something you can relate to.
What was that?
I have no... Maybe I am the person who had the games, but I'm trying to think of... Like, you're saying games and I have no recollection of this.
So maybe we never exposed Getty. Getty never had the cousin game. He never had anyone show him the weird stuff. Because Busted Groove
the only thing I can think of is when I had a Sega CD, and I don't think any of those games were like the it game. Like what? Knights was an it game. I didn't have that one. I had some Clockwork Knight BS game.
Oh, I like that one. I like that. That could be a cousin game. Clockwork
right?
Knight.
I don't know.
Rocket Knight Adventures.
That's it.
I would call that a cousin game. Yeah.
Clockwork
Otherwise,
Knight.
I'm like, did
sad.
I have this? What? I don't know.
But Busted.
It's the idea I sort of took it was kind of like if you go to Blockbuster and they've got all the big titles, but then when you get past that, you see the sort of second tier
The games
of
that were available
that people don't
for you to rent.
Right. Exactly. It wasn't a qualitative thing. Like, these are a lot of fun games too, but it would be the stuff that, okay, fine, Mario 64 isn't here. I guess I'll pick up Blast Corp,
Alec, I pulled up footage of Busted Groove. These songs rule, man. Okay, so Busted Groove, it was originally called Bust a Move in Japan, but they had to change it in America because obviously Bust a Move, the puzzle game, right?
Yeah.
The way it would work is that it would be, it wasn't DDR. It would give you moves. So it'd say up, up, X, but you have to hit each piece to the beat, or else it would just start you over. And if you did that move, it would give you another set of move. It would give you another move, and then another move, and sometimes it would give you 2 moves, and you pick which one you want to go. And if you go down the path of moves if you do them correctly, along the line of this, like if you look at a line, move here, move here, move here, and then a split, move here, move here, move here. It ends with like a special move, and you could always do different like paths throughout the move set. You end up picking your own moves, and the characters all have different like combinations of moves, but you have to always do it to the beat. It was super, and the soundtracks were cool. It was just super fun to like listen to these songs and do these moves again and again and again. You're playing against each other, so you're trying to get more points, and then eventually you would get a like mess somebody up move, so you could like drop a giant cheeseburger on the person next to you, and they screws up their whole combo. And the characters were fun. There were secret unlocks. There was a character who had like a little hamster in her pocket, but if you did a certain thing, which I can't remember what it was, all of a sudden you're playing as the hamster. Bust a Groove was a good one.
Yeah, it was. I was terrible at it.
I thought we were both pretty good at it. I don't know what you're saying. I thought we were both pretty good. And so there was a Busted Groove 2 that was also very good. And I think that, like, even just listening to this music now, I'm like, I know all the words to the song. Natural Playboy. If you remember, like, you hear that and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that song, I remember that. That's in my brain. So these songs were good. Yeah, I think that there's a lot. PlayStation was definitely like a good time for experimental games. I'm sorry, Getty, that you didn't get a chance to experiment with these games as well.
Okay. I think I'm fine.
No, man.
You don't understand what you're missing out on.
Yeah, I put it in the chat, but I want Joel to check out like this little like These songs, man.
Oh, yeah, I'll give it a look after. That's fine.
Watching on repeat.
I'm dancing over here. This music rules. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good ones. Alec, anything else that stick out to you?
No, nothing that I can really think of.
Okay.
To our one listener, tell us what your cousin games are.
Yeah, send us an email. We will talk about it next week. Mail at superggradio.com. Tell us some of your cousin games. I'd like to find and possibly play some new cousin games.
Whatever the price, Alex will pay for it. And you could play with him. You can play with any of us.
Tell him, Getty.
I can't. We're not on that part of the segment yet. Or the podcast, for that matter. So we'll just go to our one last thing. Unless anybody else has anything they want to plug this week, we're good to move on?
Yep.
Okie dokie. One last thing. And this week's one last thing is brought to you by, I don't know, Marvel Rivals, because Alex didn't talk about it enough this episode.
Oh, it's so good.
I heard he's top 15% in the world.
Rocket Raccoon players. Squad
Probably
up.
Top 15%.
Rocket rules.
I guess I have to go first. I don't know, man. I'm so tired.
But you're going out of town, Getty. What game are you planning on bringing any games with you?
I'm planning to see the Final Fantasy concert, Final Fantasy VII concert this weekend.
Cool.
And hopefully that's it. And then I'll just curl up and pass on. I have no other. We have other stuff planned, so I am taking a backseat from gaming. Like this whole last week, I haven't done that much, and then I won't get to play much this coming weekend. So it's all you guys. I'm gonna go listen to some boss music.
Hell yeah!
Nice,
Alex.
I have started the Sekiro. I am not good at the Sekiro, but for reasons that don't make me bad as a player, I have to play the game, and I'm kind of just moving around and doing all sorts of fun, like again, movement stuff. So I think that I need to stop doing the movement stuff and actually play the game. But I'm like, man, but I don't need to play the game. I could just run past everything and no one sees me ever. But that's not good. So I'll probably play some more Sekiro. Now that Last of Us 2 is all wrapped up. Getty, you were right. That game made me feel bad.
We should all feel bad. Except for Joel, because it's his turn.
Yep.
I also started Sekiro. I haven't gotten very far in Sekiro, and it's because I'm bad at Sekiro. We've gotten about as far. I feel like I'm starting to grasp things. But, yeah, fortunately, I've got an obligation to keep and actually play through this, so I'm gonna stick on it, but it'll probably take me twice as long. Otherwise, play some Billionaire. Billionaire is pretty decent.
I heard good things about Billionaire. Now, if you want to get if you want to get into something that is a little bit more of like that kind of like you got pachinko, but you got a couple other things. Luck be a landlord tonight.
Okay.
I believe that one is slot machines.
Okay.
Yep.
Alec?
You know, I keep trying to play these Mega Man games, and they are kicking my butt no matter what I do. I think I need to switch it up and maybe play something relaxing. I've got Okami just sitting here waiting for
I don't know why
you.
Yeah, if you're getting stressed out, man, just relax and have a good time with some Okami.
Yeah.
Even with the rewind?
Even with the rewind, when they start taking only one pip from your Mega Buster, that's when it gets hard, man.
I don't know. I think I am a Mega Buster.
Yes.
Life is short and hard, like a bodybuilding elf.
That's cleaner than what I was going to say, but...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that'll be it for this week with this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find
what
us...
What happened to you, Getty?
Yeah.
You can find us on
Blue Sky at Super GG Radio and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where Thursdays are podcast night. If you're looking for us any other day of the week, maybe don't. Just kidding. Joel is running his Frostpunk days and
whenever.
Sekiro no streams at night.
There we go.
He's running his Frostpunk days
and then Sekiro
no's streams at night.
There you go.
Which day of the week?
It's literally been every day of the week.
The days.
All days.
I've actually gone in there. I'm like, maybe I'll stream tonight, and then Joel's like, the Super GG Radio goes live. I'm like, God bless it, Joel.
You are more than free to make a claim. I just figure if it's sitting dead, and I'm going to be playing that anyway, or at least I can stick with a game and stream it consistently, right?
Yeah.
Hey, he could finish Sekiro. No.
Again, he's the same distance as me, and he's played probably double the time.
It'll only get worse from here.
I think he said he was at like 3 hours? 2 hours?
Which still isn't great. Still not great.
And Alex has played 35 minutes.
Uh-huh.
As soon as we get off this show, I'm going to go play some Sekiro for sure, though.
So
I got some tips. So I'm like kind of into it now.
Are we using the internet to facilitate the way that we play?
No, I just got some tips on what I'm doing, if I'm doing anything wrong or not.
Oh, okay.
Because apparently I haven't been doing stuff wrong. So
I mean, it's the way that you play, man. Nobody can make you play any other way.
No, but you could play a game in a style that not meant by developers.
I maintain that if you're able to play that way, then you can.
But if playing that way sucks.
Well, sounds like a Krill issue to me.
Nah.
Don't be such a shrimp, Alex.
God bless it.
If you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com, and provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. Please check out our Patreon, where you can get monthly pictures of our dogs. Joel, do you need any more dog pictures?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I'll put them in the folder.
I'm gonna do it.
Good.
That folder is kind of
Do it.
You can get your name read off as an executive producer. What is an executive producer?
I think they
it's
just
someone
give
that helps
people
finance money. Yeah.
That's it?
Yep.
Yep.
How have we made it this far without money?
Having
sunk cost fallacy mostly.
having real jobs.
Thank goodness Alex has that OnlyFans. And you can even get free copies of Early Adopters. Just, we're giving them away. Or
Trying to give them away.
Or you can even get a chance. It's not guaranteed, but you can get a chance to play games with us. Do you want to play... I don't know. What's Alex playing right now that's not Sekiro?
Marvel Rivals.
Do you want to play... Do you want to be in Alex's sick stack? You can.
I got the homies.
You just have to pay for it.
Got the homies.
Do you want Alec to yell at you while you play Mega Man?
We've got the homies.
Do you want Joel to crush you at Frostpunk 2?
Is there multiplayer in that?
No.
There is now. Alright. Thanks for listening, and good game, Alex.
GG, Getty.
Good game, Joel.
Good game.
Good game, Alec.
GG.